Alright, to all the old fans of Record of Ragnarok, because we know the Netflix anime didn't bring any new ones.
Wow.
We are here to rank every single battle of Record of Ragnarok.
In the manga.
There's only 6 right now.
And the 6th one's not even done. But we're still gonna add it because it's pretty cool.
Pretty cute. I'm Annie.
I'm Minty.
And this is Fun Untitled, where we serve every podcast with an FU. Would you like to do a basic premise of Record of Ragnarok?
The gods have decided that they want to end humanity, but Valkyries won't let that slide, so they played on the gods' pride and said that if in a 13 versus 13 one-on-one match, if the humans can win 7 of them against the gods, then they will save humanity for another 1,000 years. If not, then they're gonna wipe out humanity and start over again with a different animal. Maybe elephants, maybe turtles.
It's really stupid if you think about it, because everyone's like, yes, time for Ragnarok! And everyone's like, yes, of all religions, we know what that is. That's not something explicitly in the Norse.
Well, the Japanese name is different, but I don't know what it translates to. I know Valkyrie is part of the Japanese name.
I learn something new every day.
So, like I said, it's a 1 versus 1, a human versus a god, and the gimmick is because since a human cannot defeat a god, a human will get a god-like weapon through a Valkyrie. Has that really been into play? Yes and no.
Only one of the matches that really was a big factor.
Yeah, so I was like...
The only real purpose why we have to have that is because the narrator of these matches, the little Valkyrie girl and the big Valkyrie girl, we gotta cry when they die later on.
Only one of them's gonna die.
The tiny one.
The tiny one.
But yeah, we're gonna rank it. We're gonna debate who should be top, who should be last. It might get heated, just like these epic battles.
So if it's not obvious, spoilers for the manga, spoilers for match 4 and beyond if you haven't seen it.
Spoilers for your mama. So, match 1. Let's do a general gist of how we feel about the match before we go into ranking it. So, match 1. Yubu versus Thor. Yubu Chinese, Thor
Norse. I mean, that's a pretty good match. I feel like it's a good setup for what the rest is gonna have, and it's fairly simple. It's basically brute strength versus brute strength, because they're not adding the element parts to the battle.
There was a horse in it.
There was a horse, which I also liked. Who doesn't love good animal companionship and loyalty even beyond death?
Although, that's when you get to see the first, kind of like the bullshit part of Record of Ragnarok, but I get why it's there, where Lubu's legs get completely shattered because he couldn't support the hammer impact.
That's what the horse is for.
That was what the horse is for, got it. I get it, like in Demon Slayers, you gotta have the humans, get fingers chopped off and die just to show how inferior they are to the demons who keep regenerating. But at the same time, it's like, oh come on, is this how we're gonna go out, Lubu? Your legs are gonna get crippled?
The Rengoku versus Akaza fight. Yeah, we're spoiling other series too.
Yeah, fuck you. And then you move on to round 2. Adam from Adam and Eve versus Zeus. Another Greek god. I don't know why I said the word another.
The father of humanity versus the father of the gods.
They're so neat, these themes.
It is nice, but some of them are not as, thematic.
Yeah. Well, in the beginnings of this.
Sure. And so, I don't know why, but the Adam versus Zeus fight is so good. Not the way the anime animated it, but it's about speed. It's the play on words of, Adam stuff was creating God's image, so of course he can do whatever the gods can do. I think it's just the love for Adam, really, that makes that one such a great fight.
My only problem with this match is that Zeus' only power was that he was lightning fast. Zeus, you're a god, and that's it. Your grand move is divine kick, and never in a single Zeus story I've heard where you had the power of kicking.
Yeah, which is weird, because they use the giant axe, right? But there's, no lightning imagery?
I guess because Thor was a lightning guy, so we couldn't do 2 lightning things in a row.
But he didn't have any lightning imagery either.
Yeah, can't really argue that. God, I wish the author picked the character order a little better.
There's some theme, whatever. Then the third match is Kojiro Sasaki, Japan, versus Poseidon, Greek again. There are too many damn Greek gods in this pickup lineup.
But anyways, so, look, y'all. Kojiro, he worked his whole life to get strong. Poseidon, Poseidon, always born strong. The strongest of the Olympian gods. Everyone knows Poseidon, all his legends. I'm being sarcastic. Like, what the fuck, man? Why is Poseidon this, OP shit? And why did we make up, like, oh, Poseidon's so strong, he took out the 13th Olympian god from history? It's like, where is Hades?
This matchup was okay. I like Kojiro, but beyond that, it was an okay match. As much as I believe that visual imaging is an important part for any, activity, it was just so, the only thing.
I still think it's bullshit that, the first winner was Japanese.
I thought you were gonna say that he had 2 weapons, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, whatever. I don't give a shit. Round 4, I'll start complaining about the divine weapon that they have. I don't give a shit he has 2 swords. I'm still very upset over the fact that Poseidon couldn't do any water moves. Like, did we just take out all the mystical powers?
Well, you explained it already, right? They had to take them out because the humans would then have no chance at all.
I'm just saying, Shiva, this is a little spoiler, round 5, Shiva went on fire.
Yeah, but he doesn't control the fire.
Right. But yeah, I still think Poseidon had to nerf his water, or else Kojiro couldn't, predict his move and use his, number 1 technique.
Yeah.
But still, well, this match is completely boring then. The only water I see is the fucking metaphor, Kojiro drowning, and everyone doing the Naruto opening of all his friends pushing him out of the water.
That was cute. See, I like Kojiro. It's just the whole match itself was junk.
Racist accent.
Kind of, yeah.
Move on to round 4, where everyone wants to fuck Jack the Ripper and Hercules. I don't understand. I look in the damn tag, I see so many people want to fuck Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, fuck Jack the Ripper. But I love Hercules. Hercules is my favorite god so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay, sorry, I forgot. Second favorite.
No, but the whole gimmick is that Jack the Ripper's like, please, sir, let me have it in the, London. And Hercules like, yes, I'm the good guy. I'll let you have all of London to be your battlefield. And Jack the Ripper being like, ho ho ho, I'm a villain. I'm gonna use this to my goddamn advantage. And you're gonna lose based off the pure fact that you said yes to the stupid arrangement.
Yeah, it was Hercules' fault.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. If any other gods say, yes, you can, fight in the city of London or some shit, I'm gonna say, no, you should have learned from Hercules.
That is true. Yeah, if you think about it, because Jack made it played off like that, all of London was his weapon, which actually in some sense it is true, because anything he touched basically became his divine weapon, but if it was just the same layout as all the other 3, there'd be nothing to grab.
Yeah, and it's such a disappointing conclusion of using his blood.
Yeah, I didn't care for the whole lying, because it just felt like you could just do it any time, and then there was just a quote-unquote build-up. I was like, nah, not really.
And I didn't really care about Hercules' powers, though. He had a club that could do the 12 labors.
Okay, I'm like, if you're gonna make him a god, don't give him the human limitations. What the hell are we doing here?
Also, this match made me just hate Ares. I don't get why so many damn Greek gods is watching this damn battle. Everyone knows the meme of Aphrodite sitting while 2 guys hold her boobs up.
It's gross.
And then they replace Aphrodite with Ares, and it's just oh, he's just as annoying, if not worse.
I like Ares more than Aphrodite, but we're not about spectators.
Or Sir Conan Arthur Doyle being Jack the Ripper's best friend.
William Shakespeare must have come before Jack the Ripper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's in heaven. He can read Google of what's happening.
Yeah, they never bring that up whenever there's a story about people coming back to life. They're in heaven. They have Google.
Everyone's like, Jesus takes the wheel doesn't make sense because Jesus wouldn't know what a car is. But no, sir. He watched YouTube. He knows.
Hell, he watched when cars were made and when the first mechanic had to teach the first driver. Jesus was like, damn, if only I was here.
Does anyone wonder what the T stood for in the Model T? That was the cross, baby.
So match 4 is kind of whatever in the end.
Then moving on to match 5. My man Shiva from India. Okay, I got a yes. He finally gets to go after the Greek cucked him 3 times against Raiden, a Japanese sumo wrestler?
Yeah, one of the best sumo wrestler of the highest honor, a Yokozuna.
Yeah, not everyone watch Himawari Sumo, okay?
I recommend it. That series is pretty good. It's a little on the drier side, but it's pretty good.
This match is just all very brute string. The theme was kind of weak. I think it was people who was like held back by emotions.
Actually, I think it's people who really enjoy fighting.
But we already had that in the first one.
I think that is true. Lubu and Thor did both enjoy fight, and they had a lot of brute strength.
And then Shiva didn't really enjoy fighting as much as his friend.
Which is what they had in common.
Alright.
And they were also fighting for other people. You know, Shiva was fighting more for his friend, Raiden was fighting more for his village, and then they just found a joy of fighting within itself.
I don't know much about gay companionship to argue, but I don't know, I feel like there was like a reluctance to fight. Like, Raiden refused to use his most powerful moves because he didn't want to feel like he's bullying others. And then Shiva, he tried to show his fight against his friend because he didn't want to defeat the friend.
Oh, that's true.
And then it won't explain why the friend walked off in shame and Shiva never saw him again. And he was just alive and chilling.
I mean, Shiva got married 4 times and had a kid. He was busy.
So, Shiva's first wife.
Yeah, why don't they? We don't know the story of, or the Hindu religions that well.
I used to know it. Then I got an arrow to the knee. This match was okay. I liked it.
And they put a lot into, like, getting to know the characters, but in terms of the match itself, I thought it was kind of bland.
Did not like seeing that man inflate.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Moving on to the next round.
The current match, where they really threw a wrench into things and said that Buddha, who is the most immature god of all the gods, decided that he wants to fight on the side of humanity, which makes sense, because he was an actual human who walked the earth and ascended to enlightenment and became a god.
And it turns out he was the one who helped the Valkyries give them power-ups.
Allegedly!
Allegedly!
Yeah, something about another Hindu aspect of soulmates and 2 souls in 1 body, blah blah blah.
Versus Fuku, the combination of the 7 lucky gods. If you watch the anime No Origami, you might have a better understanding of who he is more than we do.
To be fair though, no, because they barely talked about them, and Bishamon was a blonde lady.
Shut up.
A blonde, white, blue-eyed Nazi lady.
Shut up. You can't say that. And Fuku is in a infinite puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, like, tantrum throwing.
Very wild puberty. His powers suck, Fuku. I have a club that changes forms the more sad I am.
Yeah, it's one of those powers that doesn't really have any, like, rules or limitations, so you just kind of think it's bullshit of how much it can keep growing and growing. But it really didn't help him because Buddha's powers are so cool.
He has a Wonder effing bell that changes depending on how he's feeling. He has, like, future vision or whatever the hell.
Yeah, he can see in the future for, like a minute or so. I don't know, Buddha, his, like, doesn't take shit, does whatever he wants attitude, backs it up with his strong powers, and it's very flexible and just, you know, he just gets what he gets. And he's like, alright, I'm gonna work with this, and it just makes him so cool.
So as of right now, we just got to the point where Beelzebub is kind of interfering with the match and turns Fuku into like a buff guy.
Right, as of the date of this recording, only up to chapter 49 is out.
And for all intents and purposes, only 49 will be out. Everything else doesn't exist. You're the one who's fucking up, not us.
Yeah, with Beelzebub coming in, I feel like it's gonna just make the match worse. It's just not what I want, but I could be wrong.
See, I feel like Beelzebub had to come in because it wasn't like Buddha was gonna kill Fuku, because even you and I were like, so what happens if you don't technically kill the other guy?
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, let's get into the rankings.
Number 1, I will fight you to the end of my days, has to be Adam versus Zeus.
Yes, that is absolutely the best fight of Aloha Ragnarok. I don't know best of all animes, but it's pretty good.
No, definitely not all animes, but I do
Not flashy enough?
Not flashy enough. I do like the whole, you know, like, he's the 00001 person, and then, you know, the whole, how long did it take for him to do that match? Oh, it's 00001.
Yeah, I love that too.
And then it keep adding a 0 to show that Adam's getting faster. Just a little faster. And, you know, the whole, like, punch out at the end was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, I always like those, the person kept fighting even when they lost consciousness.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone has ever done that in real life, but that's so fucking cool.
There are some other animes who do this, but I don't think they go to the extent of, like, the character going through a whole fight, you know?
Yeah, I get that. It's more like a character that died, but he's still holding on to something.
Yeah, there's one where, like, Lee gets the shit beaten out of him of Gaara, and he stands up, but he's not conscious.
Yeah.
And Guy is crying because his favorite student got fucked up.
And then later on, he has to watch his other student fuck up his cousin.
Oh, the way you said that sounded wrong.
Well, I said fucked up.
Yeah, Yeah, it's still.
Not incest.
It's still.
Whatever.
I think...
Not a good day for Guy.
Yeah. I think in terms of ranking, it's easy to do by bookends. So, like, the best is Adam versus Zeus. The worst is Jack the Ripper versus Hercules.
Oh, yeah. It's just Jack the Ripper wasn't that cool.
And it was just, like, one lie after another. And then it was, like, Hercules had this caveat, so he couldn't just go all out. Because whenever he used one of his moves, a tattoo would go on his body. And assumingly, if it goes all over, it would kill him. And it's like, why?
I hate the trope of this character is really strong because he can use something that inflicts a lot of pain on himself. Like, I can't see it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's so great. Like, I don't see him in pain. And I think Jack the Ripper is a little bit weird with like, oh, yes, this giant scissor is my weapon. Nope. Anything that comes out of this bag is my weapon. Nope again. My gloves, whatever they touch, turns into a weapon. Like, hey, Jack the Ripper, shut the fuck up. Like, stop trying to be like, I'm so cool. I'm always thinking like a step ahead of you. Like, you don't really have powers. And I stand to this day, I wish someone would explain to me how his hands covered in blood can pierce someone's abs of steel.
I don't know. I guess it's because technically... I don't know.
Because his hand doesn't turn into blades. If he had a knife, I would say, okay, maybe.
Maybe.
Or if he used that fence that punctured his organs.
Or maybe he got the clock off of the Big Ben.
Also, I didn't really care about the fact that Jack the Ripper did all this because he never had love and he can see emotions.
Yeah, that part was weird. And then, like, he saw, like, the strong love that his mom had. The infatuation that the mom had for a rich gentleman was seen in Hercules' love for humanity, because those are two different things.
So yeah, Jack the Ripper, you on the bottom. I'm sorry to everyone that wants to fuck Jack the Ripper. It's okay, Buddha's still here for now.
Yeah, so do you give number 2 to Buddha versus Zerufuku or Lubu versus Thor?
I think I'm gonna give it to Lubu versus Thor, and this is my case. Zerufuku's a shitty character. Like, as cool as Buddha is, Zerufuku is just as bad.
Yeah.
Thor, does he kind of suck and he kind of just disappeared after a while? Yeah.
I like Thor.
You know, Man of Few was, if you don't fuck up your lines, you can't mess it up. You know, if you don't say anything, you can't fuck it up.
Fair enough. Although Poseidon didn't say anything.
God, Poseidon's so terrible. But yeah, I would give it to Lubu.
Okay, so we'll put Adam versus Zeus 1, Lubu versus Thor 2, Buddha versus Zerufuku 3, then 4 is...
So we're gonna have to argue, is it gonna be round 3 with Kojiro versus Poseidon, or round 5 with Raiden versus Shiva?
I think it's Raiden versus Shiva is number 4.
Okay, thank God, because I remember when we was talking before, you was like, oh no, I like the Kojiro match. Kojiro's really cool. And I was like, yeah, but Poseidon was literally just Thor.
You know, you're right. We should put Kojiro and Poseidon.
Fuck me.
Because there was a strategy with Kojiro and he had a technique and it, like, all his past and his character came into this final battle that's so important to humanity.
But Poseidon is such a terrible character.
Okay, but Raiden and Shiva's not that much better or worse. They're so neutral.
Raiden and Shiva, I think, something that really fucked with their match is the fact that, like, the timing got weirdly off because we was focusing on Buddha and Loki. So even back then in round 5, Buddha was stealing, Shiva's spotlight.
Because it's such a boring match.
I don't know, man. Like, I guess it's like, to me, it's another one of arguing. The two people, they were okay, but in the other match, one guy was really great and one guy was really shitty.
I feel like Poseidon is not as bad as, like, maybe, like, Jack the Ripper. I mean, there's at least a story with him, or at least explains who he is. So, in terms of, like, how much you like the character and how much they explain the character, I feel like they did a very good job with Kojiro. Raiden and Shiva was okay, and then Poseidon was the worst, but it's not, like, so bad that it, like, canceled out Kojiro.
You know, I think something might be effing me here, because I never read the manga version of Kojiro versus Poseidon. So, as we know, the animation sucked in the Netflix. But the Raiden versus Shiva, the drawings were super cool.
It could make a difference, but you got the main gist. It is what it is. Or are you just gonna agree with me that Kojiro should be number 4?
I'm just gonna agree with you, man.
Oh yeah!
So, number 1, we're locking it in. Adam versus Zeus.
Because Adam's so cool.
Yes, Chad moment. And his whole thing with the snake. Yeah.
I hated that.
Fuck you. Match number 2, it would be Lubu versus Thor.
for pure, unadulterated strength and violence.
And horse.
And that horse.
Match number 3. It will be Buddha versus Zirofuku because Buddha is a snack. And I don't know if I'm going to go to Hindu hell for that. Is he Hindu?
Actually, he is, so there's no hell.
So is Shiva and Buddha?
Are they part of the same religion?
Yes.
Technically, yeah.
Oh shit. Is Buddha a god?
Buddha ascended to enlightenment, which makes him a god. Well, I mean, if you think about it, Shiva is part of Hinduism. Buddha is probably part of Buddhism.
Oh, yes.
Which came from Hinduism. So maybe they're not part of the same religion, but they're closely related. They made Buddha a white dude. That is somewhat racist, though.
Man, we're like talking about all this Japan racism shit. Yes, I get it. It's racist they made Rusui's Indian brother white.
Ooh.
That's in Dr. Stone, by the way, y'all. We're really dating the episode now. And then, yeah, Buddha's just really cool. So, you know the 4 enlightened ones? Jesus, Confucius, Socrates, and Buddha?
Yes.
Does that mean Confucius and Socrates are gods?
No, they never reached enlightenment.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know, maybe the world of Record of Ragnarok changed it, but as far as I can tell, I do not believe that they are gods.
Okay. Number 4, we should put Kojiro versus Poseidon, even though I disagree.
No, you conceded.
Just like the South. Except that you lost.
Wait, when we can talk, the South didn't lose.
I just said admit that you lost.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. We understand the South lost the war. We had basic public education.
Until they changed that. Texas. Well, you really want to date the episode, look up the news.
Anyways, shut the fuck up. Then the 5th match, Raiden versus Shiva, just because it was just like a slugfest, but it wasn't really anything cool.
It wasn't outlandish as it could have been.
And the last match shall be Jack the Ripper versus Hercules. Look, I get that you have to put like a little strategic battle in. That's the whole, you can't just serve the same flavor every single time.
But fuck it, you're Record of Ragnarok. You can just make it a slugfest every time. Just have really cool powers.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't have to keep punching and kicking and suplexing. You can have some mystical power. You have
They
God
can't do
weapons.
that. We've explained why.
Fuck this show. Fuck this anime. Can't wait for the anime Netflix to make round 4, 5, and 6 as soon as 6 ends. Could you imagine if the anime was announced as soon as Buddha wins the 6th match? If Buddha loses, I will cry. I cried when Adam lost.
Oh yeah. Loser.
Simp.